Okay, greetings from Pompey. We're trying to see if we remember how to use Stellina. She spent the winter hiding and now she is out. Let's see how well she will do. And we have Dwarf 3. I have no idea what they have done to the latest app. It's all new, all strange. You just can't leave anything alone when it's working. Everybody has an extreme obsession with updating, with breaking what's working. Aha, that's what this does. Okay. As you can tell from the window and from the sky cam, it is still bright outside. We will attempt to get Stellina going when it gets dark. We'll initialize it. Targets for the night. Let's see what we have. Please let me know if you hear the clacking noise that we had last time we went live. We suspect it was due to Starlink. So we're back to cable to see if that was indeed the issue. Let me see what comets are visible tonight. This assumes I still remember how to program right ascension and declination in Stellina. We'll see. No, it has already set C2025 R3 is gone for tonight. Yep. Okay, let's see who else. Comets. I don't know if Stellina is going to be able to look at Jupiter. We'll see soon. Hello, Rodney. We're waiting for it to get a little bit darker. As you can see, the window is still blue on my side. Looks like 29p is a possibility. Yeah, we had rain last night. We're looking at it tonight with at the moon with dwarf. I am doing what you hear the clicking again because I turned off Starlink and we're going back on cable. Apparently the clicking occurs when I stop talking for some reason. Hello, Stanley. So is the moon upside down? We were trying to catch the Artemis 2 capsule as soon as it went around the moon, but it was not to be. We had clouds and we were not able to see it. Some folks did capture it. Actually, lots of folks claim to have captured it. Let me see if we can see Comet 29p. Maybe. Yeah, 29p right now is possible. We'll keep an eye on it and see if we can catch it. I need to see stars on the Skycam before I ask Stellina to initialize. Dwarf, on the other hand, has no problem picking up the moon. We have no shortage of galaxies and comets to look at. Yeah, 29p seems to be both 24p and 29p are possibilities. We will start with 29p and then hop over to 24p. Yep, that's the plan. So will it allow us to plan my night? And include It has a few comets in there. We are looking for comets. Let's search for doesn't know it. No joy. All right. I thought comets were in the solar system. Both are faint targets, but remember, glass has its privileges. We're using Stellina with 3-inch aperture, so hoping to see them. All right, we don't have it here. Manual. Okay, we should be able to enter a manual target. Create a manual target by searching our extensive catalog. Will that allow us to find it? No, negative. No, 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 no. Okay. Back. So 29p. Object name. We're going to call it, it doesn't matter. I got an app update, have not gotten a firmware update in a while. Right ascension. $11. 1 minute. 45 seconds. At least I won't have to be scrolling a wheel up and down the way DWARF insists on us doing it. Minus 1 degree. 21 minutes. 13 seconds. And this is 29p tonight. Let's see if that'll work. We'll add 24p. $24p. $14. 46 minutes. 45 seconds. This time it's a +1 degree, 46 minutes and 57 seconds. Save. I'm not going to attempt to initialize Stellina until we see stars in there. If I try, it's going to complain that the sun is not further down. Jacob, how are you? We're trying to see if we remember how to use Stellina tonight. Plus we have DWARF 3 out there and I have no idea how to use it anymore. They went on a crazy spree of changing everything in the interface. The other day I had a fun experience with my Garmin watch wanting to update the firmware, and then my cell phone wanting to update the firmware, and then my tablet updating its firmware, and then DWARF updating its firmware, and Windows updating my laptop, and then Tesla updating its firmware. So everything except for the microwave and the washing machine updated their firmware in the house. Jacob, you may or may not know, but I got Starlink finally. It works very nice. Have not tried taking it away yet. Right now it's up and running only on my balcony and doing very well. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with DWARF tonight. If you have any targets in mind that we should attempt with either DWARF or Stellina, please let me know. I don't plan to be up too late tonight. A busy day ahead tomorrow, plus still recovering from a half marathon that I ran on Saturday. Of all places in Roanoke, Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains, it was brutal. Very hilly, very hot. Going down from the northern climates, I was not used to 93-degree heat yet, let alone running hills in it. Okay, enough complaining. So tonight, I will consider a success if we get Stellina to work and to get anything with it. Good evening, Belle. Sorry I've been quiet and absent, but I went down to Blacksburg, Virginia to visit my 3 grandsons. And I was scheduled to run a marathon, the Blue Ridge Marathon, but dropped down to the half at the last minute when I discovered that the weather forecast called for 93 degrees at noon. I don't think so. Having spent winter in the northern climates, I was not ready for a marathon at 93 degrees. So I dropped down to the half and I was out of there before the heat. Ran it with my son, we chit-chatted quite a bit. So we're back now to work. Bill, I am using cable. If you hear the that we had last time we went live, please let me know. That will mean that the problem was not Starlink. I'll have to look further for it. In the meantime, let's see if we can initialize. It thinks that we are 0.8 mile away. Yeah, doesn't matter. Sun is too high. We'll give it then chance to go further down. Thank you. Thank you. The two targets that I have identified for tonight are Comet 29P and Comet 24P. And then we'll go hop around galaxies. I'd like to take another look at Sombrero with Stellina. We're going to see how well Stellina does. They have not updated firmware in at least 3 days, which is much better than others. Bill, I was rattling my experience 2 weeks ago with my watch updating the firmware, my cell phone updating firmware, my tablet, my computer, DWARF 3, and then my Tesla. All of them updated their firmware in the same day. I don't like change. I like what works. Well, I'm glad there is no clicking. I thought by now the sun will be far enough down for Stellina to be happy. What is C60? I remember we did that antenna galaxy a while back. It's a beautiful one. The Sky Live has a new section on Supernova. Let me write these down. NGC 5907 and C60. Let's see which one of them is doable. Okay, so we're looking for this is strange, it has no idea where I am. Location. Search. You said C60. Jacob, Stellarium, the app, does not know of C60 and does not know of an antenna galaxy either. I know we had looked at it before. And it does not know of an NGC 5907. To know what's going on with Stellarium. Thank you, Bill. I will look it up. I see stars on the SkyCam, so we're going to try to initialize. (4038). Okay, 4038, we know it. It is doable. I got it, Bill. We just need to convince Stellina to find it. Trying to see if I can find. Hi, Zena. Coordinates for 5907. Also known as 5906. 5906 we found. Atlas Dwarf 3 wants an Atlas database. So Stellina is stuck in a okay, it's unstuck, looking for a new pattern analysis. She forgot how to do it. How is Buddy doing, Zena? Okay, Stellina did not initialize. Hello, Isobeg. So we are at NGC in 5906. We're trying to look at the supernova on dwarf. It looks like Stellina forgot how to do work. We have the galaxy on dwarf. Let's see how many frames we need to see it more clearly. And here come the starlinks. All right, how do we adjust the histogram? Let's try that. Hello, Jeff. Okay, Stellina is focusing. Let us celebrate that. It took all of, what, half an hour? Let's see if it succeeds in autofocusing so we can get on to work. Let me see if we can convince. Good evening, Lightbridge. We're going to try to see with all the latest changes, filters. Nope. Properties. Nope. Filters. We have noise suppression. Hi, CGD. Haha. Stellina knows that the target is too close to the moon. If it cannot find it, we'll move over to 24p. I enlarged the image of NGC 5906 to see if we can see the supernova. Otherwise, the plan is to go at it with Stellina once we're done with the 29p. Okay, good evening everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I've been off for a few days, several days, down in Virginia visiting grandchildren and running the Blue Ridge Half Marathon. And then we pulled this stunt that we had not done before, namely let the Tesla drive me back home. It was a 570-mile trip, during which I did not touch the steering wheel, the brake, or the accelerator pedal. It drove me the entire way. Observation failed. Okay, too close to the moon. Let's go somewhere else then. HTTP 401 is not authorized. I'm glad to hear that. So the full self-drive on Tesla has improved dramatically. It even identified which charger stations were down, and it pulled back into one that was up. Yeah, Bill, when I searched for it, they said that 5907 is the same as 5906, Knife Edge Galaxy. That's what the internet says. If it's on the internet, it must be true. We will soon find out. Stellina is looking at comet 24P Schwarzman. And it found a Starlink. That's a good start. Okay, I'm gonna go to Stellarium and see if we can find 24P. And see if we can find the star pattern. I'm gonna let Stellina capture about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We'll see if it will see anything. Depending whom you ask, it says magnitude 15. So we may or may not see it tonight. Otherwise, we will hop over to 5907. The ISS is not going to be visible tonight, or Tiangong. Bill, according to Gemini, NGC 5907 refers to the entire galaxy, while 5906 refers to the western portion of the same galaxy. So dwarf may or may not show us what we're looking for. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture that Bill sent me, and the orientation is different, but yeah, I see where it should be appearing somewhere around here. Good evening, Toast. The good news is the Big Dipper is visible on the Skycam, and it is pointing to the North Star. I'm gonna note the time so I can go back and listen to that tick, tick, tick. We're talking about 9:06-ish, 9:07. You are correct, Toast. The stars have moved since we last saw you. Actually, it's the Earth moving, the stars are fixed. Don't know what it is, Toast. I had initially suspected Starlink, but if it's happening now, then it is not Starlink because I turned off Starlink. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna turn off my microphone and let me know if you still hear that noise. So we know it's microphone related and not Starlink related. We shall turn off noise suppression and see what happens. We suppressed noise suppression. So we put the noise suppression back on. That was easy. We will have to explore the reasons. I'm gonna try to push the volume down all across and see if that helps. I tried putting a 12 dB filter. This is the old Stellina. I've had her for 5 years. That's why I wanted to take her out and see how well it does. It's not doing too well stacking. It has only stacked 40 frames since 835 or so, 853. Yeah, Starlink is off. We will do some due diligence tomorrow to find out what's going on. In the meantime, I'm not able to see any evidence of a comet. Promise to give it 10 minutes. We'll give it 10 minutes and then we'll move on to go chase the supernova on Stellina. Yeah, I got Stellina at the height of the COVID isolation. All right. This is new in the app. I updated the Stellina app today. Remember T Corona Borealis? Where is it? TCRB is visible. Let's pay it a visit. Okay, Stellina is looking funky. This is beautiful. Yeah, this is the brand new app on Watch Play and Jump to Image. Okay, this is the star in the middle of the galaxy. Let's see how much detail we get. Oh no, that's Corona. That's TCRB. Sorry. My bad. Hi, Jeannie. Okay, TCRB has not gone nova. Where is the moon right now? My big regret is that Vaonis did not produce and sell Hyperia, because I was considering getting one. The club could have used it. We're going for the moon to see what Stellina can do with the moon, and then switching to the supernova, see if we can see it. I don't know why they added this extra click here. Yeah, Jeannie, it is Stellina. I remember reading a review before I ordered Stellina of a NASA engineer who said that Stellina has in it, built in, everything that he ever put in a NASA observatory. Now, Stellina remains the only telescope on the market where the sensor rotates. The telescope itself is in Alt-Az, but the sensor in it rotates to eliminate field rotation. It was also the first instrument with a heater built in. And there is the moon. Well, I'm glad the noise is gone. I added a 12 dB filter. Looks like it may have helped. Let us see if we can find the supernova on Stellina. Well, the atlas on Stellina does not have it, so we're going to need to enter it manually. Can someone double check with me that we have the right coordinates, please, as I type them in? 15 hours. $15. It says 56 seconds. And declination 56 degrees. 19 minutes. 37 seconds. Double checking 15, 15, 56. 56, 19, 37. Good night, Peter. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I saw the reference earlier as 2026 SN or yeah SN Kid. Okay, we have a galaxy in there. And believe it or not, I see the supernova. Ladies and gentlemen, we appear to be in business. It is flipped around by 180 degrees from dwarf. The cluster of bright stars to the left of dwarf, sorry, to the left of the galaxy on dwarf appear to be to the right of the galaxy on Stellina. No, I see it on Stellina, Bill. It's probably my imagination, but it's here. Yeah, we'll let it stack. There is no hurry. Dwarf is not going to get any better. 146 frames stacked. Don't talk to me about coffee, Jeannie. I'm very tempted to go grab a cup. I'm gonna go grab sombrero. Jeannie, we still have the word snow in our forecast for next week. How far is this galaxy? About 50 million light years away. Thanks, Bill. I pinch zoomed onto the galaxy. Both displays are currently pinch zoomed. me see if I can rotate it. Okay. I'm gonna sneak it back in. Well, that's the image that you sent me. We're going to try to see if we can see enough of it. So we have the brightness in the middle, which is here. And then the dark stretch, another bright stretch, and right at the edge of the bright stretch, so we're looking at somewhere around here. Yeah, I plan to let it stack another 15 minutes, make it half hour. I'd like to see those stars out there on here. They're starting to show. I'm curious what magnitude we're able to see on Stellina. For example, this blue star here should be able to pull up which stellarium is going to show me. We're able to see stars better than 16 magnitude right now on Stellina. Yeah, 1632 is definitely visible. Okay, I'm able to see a 17.7 magnitude star on Stellina right now. You're definitely able to see 17 magnitude stars. Hi, Mike. Stellina has a 3-inch aperture, so that's a lot more glass than Dwarf 3. I think Dwarf 3 is 35 millimeter. Yes, 35 millimeter versus 85. So you take the square, six times more glass. Plus the sensor. Stellina is a 6 megapixel. Back then 6 megapixel was a lot. Yes, glass has its privileges, you bet. Yeah, we're definitely seeing the supernova. It's there. Thanks for pointing it, Bill. In the meantime, Dwarf is happily imaging Sombrero. When we are done with the supernova, we're going to hop over to Sombrero also. My main objective tonight was to see if I can still use Stellina. The evening started early with updating the app, verifying that the firmware was good, charging the batteries, and waiting for the sun to set. I do not plan to stay up too late tonight because of things going on early tomorrow. However, there is a good chance we'll go live tomorrow night with another assortment of telescopes. With the supernova in sight, we may want to apply more glass, like an 11-inch. Which will give us another 13 times more glass than Stellina. Which will be 80 times more glass than Dwarf 3 or Seestar. So the weather forecast for tomorrow looks good. Station identification. This is the Pompey Observatory. It is 10 p.m. here, Eastern Time. If you're joining us for the first time, please subscribe. We will be going live again tomorrow. Good night, CGD. Right now, Astrospheric says there's a good chance we'll have a clear night tomorrow night. We'll keep fingers crossed. I'll be on for another hour tonight. Not gonna waste a clear night, completely clear. Bill confirming that the magnitude of this supernova is 16.6. The SN 2026 FOV, as in field of view, is in NGC 7292. This is funny. According to the sky tonight, We need 6 inches or more telescope to see it. Hello, cool cat. I was saying that there is another supernova in NGC 7292 with a magnitude of 13 that could be visible, but it's below the horizon right now, so that's a no-go. And then there is SN 2026 KMZ. With no host galaxy, that's interesting. Hey Jeannie, stop rubbing in the coffee. Enjoy your cup of coffee. Now we can tell Mr. Pinto that there is no nova in TCRB. Now that TCRB is back in season, we should pay it a visit every time we go live. Bill, don't know if you heard the news from London. The winner of the marathon, Sebastian So, ran it in 1:59:30. Became the first man in history to break 2 hours in a legitimate race. Yeah, there was a 201 in Boston last week, or this week, on Monday. I have finally decided to go metric, by the way. And by that I mean the times that I used to run in miles, now I'm running them in Ks. For example, my 10-mile PR was 72 minutes, and yesterday I ran 10K in 71 minutes. The same was true with the half marathon. The time in which I ran a 13-miler a few years back, I'm able now to run 13K in that time. So going metric has its privileges also. No more 5-minute miles for me, it's 5-minute kilometers at best. Used to run 5 miles in under 35 minutes, now I can barely break 35 minutes for 5K. Yes, it is very flat. Berlin and Chicago and London are very, very flat courses. And they are loop courses, so they count for records. Oh yeah, still running. We have to, Bill, we have no choice. As the saying goes, you don't stop running when you get old when you stop running. So I'm doing both. Getting old and running. Yeah, right now my next marathon, full marathon, is going to be in September 6th. Gives me 15, 16 weeks to get really ready for it. Thanks, Bill. I had a humbling experience at the start of the Blue Ridge half marathon. There was a lady with a cane. She was older than me, and she was going to be walking the half marathon literally with a cane because she had one knee that doesn't work anymore, and she was going to cane it all the way, 13.1 miles, and she finished it. She's trying to do all 50 states, walking a half marathon. She came from California all the way to Virginia to walk a half marathon with a cane, on a cane. Hello, Edward. Good night, Zena. If the weather permits, we'll be live tomorrow. Edward, we're looking at Supernova 2026 Kid right here. That is a picture taken by somebody else, which we no longer need. Gone. Bill has been promoted to Grand Master. Congratulations, Bill. Now, despite the moon, we can definitely see Big Dipper, Jupiter, and its two neighbors. Castor and Pollux. Jupiter, Pollux, Castor. And then Big Dipper and Polaris up there. And rising from the northeast is Vega. Excuse me. All right, that should do it. Build a grandmaster. That's in chess. There is a progression from novice players, whatever. The very good players are known as master, and then international master, and then grandmaster. Bobby Fischer was an international grandmaster, and people who play at the highest levels are grandmasters, and they use the designation GM before their names. So GM Bill would have been very appropriate. Grandmaster. I'm still struggling with getting that dual feed dish to work as intended, Bill. I finally found a way to get the second feed installed properly by using two rubber gaskets, one on each side of the dish, and that worked. I have not been successful in getting it to reflect properly, but yeah, we'll be having a first light sometime soon. Still have not rebuilt the demolished igloo. I see no point in rebuilding it the way it was once demolished. I have to find a way to make it a lot sturdier. Bill, apparently 2 runners went under 2 hours. Not just the winner, the second place finisher was under 2 hours as well. A 50-mile-per-hour wind, Bill, blew it. And some of it ended up in the neighbors' yards. The telescope, the radioscope, was blown away into the garden. Yeah, we had very, very windy night. And then I heard a very loud sound. Sounded like a tornado. Turned out to be the whole thing was being dragged, yanked out of the wall, and the tarp was fastened very well to the PVC pipes, so it just the roof was yanked off from the PVC pipes, and then everything crashed on the radio telescope, smashed it into the ground, and then the whole thing was picked up and flown into the yard. No, not beyond repair. Reassembled everything, but I don't see the point of doing it exactly the way it was when it blew up. I will probably use some hard glue so that the 8 pieces plus the 4 sides will all be glued together solidly, so at least the cube will be a solid piece. and then I have to find a way to fasten the tarp to the deck, to the patio, so that it will not move the telescope. I'd like to upgrade from 50 miles to about 80 miles, which we are unlikely to get. Now the surprising thing is my Skyshed pod did not move. That thing is built well. They tested it by putting it on the bed of a truck and driving it at high speed across Canada to make sure it doesn't move. It did not move. Now can you imagine running a marathon in 1 hour 59 minutes and 41 seconds and losing? The second place finisher ran the marathon in under 2 hours. So both number 1 and number 2 went under 2 hours, 11 seconds apart. No, we did not get any shots of the I3 interstellar visitor. Bill, it's a plane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Supernova 2026 KID KID. It's very evident now. So we're gonna see if we can play it back. This is something Stellina does that others do not do. Not happy. Let's try again. Okay, no joy. Is Messier 104 still visible to us? Maybe. Bill, the first 6 finishers were all under 2:04. The results were 1:59, 1:59, 2 hours, 2:01, 2:02, 2:03, and then 2:05, 2:05, 2:06, 2:06, 2:06, 2:06, 2:06. That is a deep field. When the 19th finisher was at 2:10. I don't know if you heard, Chelsea Clinton ran the Boston Marathon in 3 hours and 40 minutes. 3:40. Nothing short of incredible. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. This is going to be our last target of the night. I'm going to give it a good 20 minutes to half an hour to look good. Yeah, Chelsea is no longer a kid. I think she's mid-40s. Well, at any age, 340 is outstanding. But for a woman in her mid-40s, that's nothing short of amazing. They were wearing Adidas Adizero Adios Pro Evo 3. No, that is the first man and the first woman. Let me see if they give us the runner-up shoe. Well, apparently, yep, the runner-up also wore the same shoe. That is the shoe, not the runner. Actually, I'll be surprised if the runner weighs more than 97 pounds. Jeff, that's almost as much as the shoe that the winner of the Boston Marathon wore. Apparently, those shoes retail for 450 pounds. Not a bad investment. 450 pounds. And then he won 760,000 pounds. Yeah, they stopped making the S50 Genie. Those of us who have an S50 are lucky in that sense. Genie, right now you have the best of automatic telescopes. I don't know that there is anything that I would recommend. Actually, there is nothing that I would buy. Seestar, the S50 is probably by far the most advanced, even though they have the smaller sensor, it has the larger lens. And glass has its privileges. I wouldn't want to go from 50 centimeters down to 30. I'm gonna give Dwarf a chance to make the image look pretty. What happened? Okay, Dwarf app crashed. Not good. All right, time to retire the Dwarf for the night. Toast, that'll be an interesting experiment. As you may have noticed, the humming sound is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. Weather permitting, we'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I wish you a good start of the week, and we'll catch you soon, I hope.